Good almost afternoon. We are about 3 weeks post, so it might look a little greener behind me. Again, I'm kind of just pacing myself around with this. However, before we started this video, I just want to let you know, I grabbed as many clips as I could while I was doing things. Some of it was just me trying to get the work done. My kids kind of jumped in and out and wanted rides in the tractor and wanted to play. No big deal. Not worried about that. Doesn't bother me. However, what I did want to make sure you understood is that we did a full set here, and you'll see that in the video. It's only just a few minutes, but we covered a whole lot of stuff. We went through what I did in the beginning, and I'll talk about that, and where I am now. So again, where did we start off? Well, it was a rough year, a lot of drought, a lot of die-off, a lot of hardships with the lawn. I don't have irrigation, nor was I about to go through all of the trials and tribulations of dealing with that. Also, as we got to the season, we finally started getting some good solid rains, like some nice, deep, long, heavy rains. So I took advantage of that. We had a nice break in the weather, and I went down and I mowed it, and I chopped it down low for me, which is 2.5, which is pretty low for me. Lower than that, I'm actually going to start scalping, which I didn't want to do. And I took the opportunity to pick up a couple of sale items at my local Ace. I got my Jonathan Green, I got some Black Beauty seed, I got their Magical, and I got their green up fertilizer. And then I went to work, and I decided I was going to thatch the hell out of it. I put weights on it, raked it all up to get all the crap out of it. I went and used a lawn sweeper. I bought a lawn sweeper this year used, which I absolutely freaking love. Highly recommend that, and you'll see that as well. Then I did the aeration, which I didn't capture, but again, I have a core aerator. It's all toe behind. I threw the cinder blocks on it, and we basically just went around the yard with it, and I made all my holes. And I did a really good job this year. Again, I think also because of the fact that I had not wet soil, but we had good rains, which softened it up quite a bit, which was awesome. So that made a big difference in the cores. Again, I did it when it was dry, but deep down the soil still was moist. So it wasn't like it was mud, but again, it had water in it. And then following up with that, we went and put down the seed. I used a spike aerator overseeder, which is the first time I've ever used that toe behind since I've had it. And that really worked well. I really liked what it was able to do for me in terms of the seed to soil contact. I know I've got work to do on some sections still. You can see it's filled in. But again, these are just completely probably bare spots, and I wasn't going to deal with the full going back and throwing more seed down yet. It's starting to get a little too cold out for me. So I'm actually going to come back in the spring, and I'll show that in an update video. Come back in the spring and do some of the heavier seeding in certain spots of the yard, which is fine. I can spot treat it. Then we went and put down all the seed as well as the product, so all of those ingredients could all go down at the same time. And then I started watering it in, and then we got really good rains over the course of days. Not 3 days straight of rain, but we would get rain, a little bit of cool, cold weather. Then it would sun up and it would be warm again. So I was getting really good progress, and this grass has done awesome. And it's been 3 weeks, so I'm really excited. I think I'm practically king in the neighborhood again. So anyway, enjoy the video. Hopefully if you guys learned something or just kind of pick up on a couple things that we do or that I do. And again, we're going to hit more of this in the spring, but there's just been a lot of winter prep fall stuff going on. You got pool closures going on. You've got kids with sports. You got school starting up, and you can only do so much in a day. So that's where we are. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Have a great time, guys. I'll talk to you later, and update videos should be coming very soon after I post this, because I've already taken a couple of those reels, so those are only a few minutes each. Anyway, enjoy. It's Saturday. Pool's been closed. As you can see, there we go. Got the cover on it. That was quick and easy and painless. But you can see I'm starting to get some green up out there. This looks like trash. And the backyard, I kind of neglected it this year because I put the pool deck up, so I didn't get a lot of time to really spend it in the lawn. Plus with the drought, I wasn't mowing a lot. So I do have a fair amount of cleanup spots to go through, some die off that I want to rip out of here. So we're going to get to that. A lot of this also is like a bent grass, and it's just kind of crappy, and I'm not going to start cutting things out, but I'm hoping if I can just aerate, thatch, and clean it all up and get some good seed in there, it'll help to take over the lawn. Again, it's not in terrible shape, but we just got about 6 inches of rain the other day, so we're actually in pretty good shape to do this project now. Things are drier today, so excited to get started. Let's talk about some of the equipment we're going to use. All right, here's the money shot, the label on the back. You can see here almost 70% of this bag is fescue. And then you've got some perennial rye, about 25% of ryegrass. A little bit of other crop seed, a little bit of inert, hardly any inert matter, no weed seed, and then some bluegrass is thrown in there, well, about 5%. So, again, you are looking at a pretty healthy bag of just seed. One of the things to note here is when you look at bags at places like Home Depot, Lowe's, other big box stores, take a look at the back because you'll see there's a lot of inert matter in those and a lot more weed seed to the point where some of those bags might show something like 70, 80, even 90% inert matter in them. So they're just a bunch of filler, if you will. So just a quick walkthrough on the products I'm going to be using before we go talk about equipment. I got my Black Beauty Sun and Shade Mix. I've used the original, I've used the Ultra. It's all good stuff. The other thing about this is that there is basically no weed seed and a lot of straight seed, no inert matter either, very low percentage of inert matter. So we'll talk about the label on that in just a second. I got the Magical Plus. So this stuff here is a soil amendment. That's why they call it natural soil food. The plus in this, as you can see here, is the part for hard soils that'll help loosen those up. Again, I do have hard soil here, so that is hopefully going to be a little bit of a bonus for us. And then we got our green up. That is the JG, Jonathan Green's version, basically of like a starter fert. So that's for seeding and sodding. So anytime you apply, they recommend this. So I'm kind of doing a, call it a Jonathan Green program this fall. The good thing about these, you can apply them both at the same time. When you seed, it all goes down on the same day, so I don't have to worry about it. I grabbed a little bit of topsoil. That's all the brand they had at the store, but that's going to help me with a couple of small low spots I want to take care of. All right, we got a dream team set up here. So we got our trusty, the D105, the John Deere. That's my new toy I just picked up, used off Marketplace. Got a really good deal, but that's a precise fit lawn sweeper. It's a 42-inch lawn sweeper, which is going to be really helpful here with cleaning up of the thatch and leaves as I go through the fall. I got my jet sweep just in case we need that. That's a Troy built. That is an 8 horsepower unit. Just in case for a little bit of extra cleanup before we get into the aeration. Core aerator, tow behind obviously, and then the Thatcher. And then as always, I've got my cardboard here that I still use to put the blocks, cinder blocks on those. That way they do not scuff up or scrape as much. So again, just kind of helps the longevity of the units. I like it, it keeps it clean. And then rubber straps, nice thick solid rubber ones instead of just regular bungees, to actually secure the blocks on there just so they don't bounce around, because I don't have the most level yard and I'm not about to go through the process of trying to level it right now today. The other thing, don't mind the mess, I'm still debating if I'm going to use my Echo spreader for this stuff. At least I'm going to use this for the, I should say, for the fertilizer, for the green up and for the Magical. However, I might break this guy out to do the seeding. This is a Spike Aerator Overseed. This is a Craftsman unit. My uncle gave it to me years ago, and I used to use it as just a Spike Aerator for a while. You could see I took the chain drive off so that the gears wouldn't spin, or the meter roller wouldn't spin while there was blocks in there to weigh it down. But I'm going to try this out this year, I think, and we're going to give it a run with some overseeding and see how it does. But that's the product. That's what we're looking to do. Obviously, I still also have a hand rake that I'm going to use. That guy is there. That's like one of the Razorbacks, I think is the brand. But we're going to use that just so when I'm doing the thatch work on the lawn, I can get up into the corners and just rake those out quick and easy, right near the house, things like that, where the thatcher isn't going to be able to kind of whip around with the machine. So that's where we are. First things first is a mow, and we'll get into that. So again, this being kind of a weekend thing for me, right? I actually did yesterday a quick mow. So go back about a week. I mowed it down to 3. And then I just went over it again yesterday at 2 3/4. That's pretty low for me. Any more and I could potentially be really scalping things, which I guess it's not bad, but it's low enough now where I'm gonna really, with those tines on the Thatcher and the aerator, be able just to get down deep in and start ripping things up. Again, I wasn't even planning on doing this year. But again, with the drought and all the die-off I've seen, I figure it's a great opportunity to kind of do a reset. So again, if you're in that same area and you've got some drought, I'm in New England, Connecticut particularly, you've got some of that die-off, now is literally a perfect time to go. We got good rains came in. We've got great weather. It's cool at night, right? You're still getting the 70s, 80s in the day, but it's not too humid out. Perfect time to get this going probably in the next week or two. So, but let's start hitting this. Like I said, we did the mow. Now we're gonna hook up the thatching machine and just start running over it with a thatch. I'm not gonna go ahead and videotape the actual thatching because again, you hook up the unit, you drop it, you tow it around. Everybody kind of knows the drill with that. I'll show you some of the after effects so you can kind of see what it looks like before and after as we go through all of these stages. All right, stick around. And here is the before. Again, just the mow at 2 3/4. Again, it's looking a little rough, even though it's greening up. And we'll get back over here after a quick thatch and see what it looks like. All right, there's your after. We got a few passes. Didn't go too fast, didn't go too slow. The whole point is you don't want it to walk itself back and forth. You want it to be steady. And I even lifted it up and you can see the extra trash in the ground there that dropped off. So we're gonna finish doing the rest of the yard now. So I'm almost done with the sweeping part of it. And I am freaking amazed. I love this thing. I'm actually gonna show you firsthand. I know I was gonna show kind of befores and afters, which you've seen. But let me show you what this thing's been doing for me. I'm obsessed with this. If you could find one used, pick one up, 1000%. If you need it new, get it new. Don't care. This thing is phenomenal. You can see right here, I did a pass once. And I did one pass here. That's it. And it's cleaned up everything. I don't even have to go back over it again. You know, and then it fills up. I bring it to the back. I back it into the pile. I pull on the lever, the whole back end flips open, you drive forward, it all dumps out. This thing is phenomenal. I used to drive over the thatch with my mower, or with the blower, I should say, and push it all out or side discharge it out of the way to kind of just clear it up. No more. This thing has been great and I'm excited to have it. So probably one of my new favorite products that I've had in my arsenal, probably more than anything else right now, but this is going to be awesome in the fall with the leaves too. So if you have the means, pick one up. Well worth the money. So that was pretty productive. I don't know, I think I got out here at 2:30 maybe. It is now, let me check my watch. Just about 5:45. So figure 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. Almost 6. All right, so a little over 3 hours. And what we were able to get done is we got, and again, I'm on an acre, but all in total it's 15,000 square feet of grass basically. But yeah, we were able to do all the thatch work, the sweeping, and the core aeration. So a couple of pauses in the middle there. I had to, you know, my daughter wanted to ride on the tractor, so you got to do some dad stuff, obviously. But if you look around, it came out good. You can see the cores. They did a pretty good job. I got some solid ones here. I figure, honestly, that machine, I got 2 to 3 inches in most places. A couple of 4s where the ground's a little softer, but again, I couldn't be happier. And so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pick up tomorrow. Now that I've got all the machine work done, we are on to just getting in and doing the spreading, getting the seed down and everything else. So that's what we're gonna work on tomorrow. So stay tuned, we'll catch up.